kids. Am I mad with my mother for the way I was raised? Not anymore. But I feel like if she was more mature or older when she had us, we would have had a different type of life. And I feel the same way about my kids. Like, they tell me a lot of stuff, you know, to this day that, and I used to get mad at my mama because she don't remember something. Now that I'm older, my kids tell me some things that I've said or that I've done to them, and I'm like, girl, I don't remember that. And I really, literally don't remember. I went through hell with these kids. It made me a mean mom, you know? My situations made me a mean mom. My kids didn't make it any easier for me. They stressed me out. Currently today, I'm on 3 high blood pressure medications because of it, you know. But not because of just them, but I just let stuff stress me out, and I shouldn't. I was not releasing things that I should have been releasing. The relationship with my ex-husband was very traumatic. The things that I went through, y'all would never believe. Now that I'm here, I never thought I was going to make it out back then. But now I see, like, I put my kids through a lot of shit, you know. My stepdaughter, I took a lot of blame for a lot of stuff, you know. She's currently mad with me because the last thing she said to me was, I didn't let her go to college. And I let Jaquil go to college. See, in my mind, I treated all the girls the same because, actually, I didn't. I treated her better than I treated the girls because she was not mine. So I wanted to make sure that I had to make up. See, with my kids, I was being mom and dad. For her, for my kids, I was being, mom and dad. For her, she didn't have either one, her mom or her dad. So I was being that for her. I was a step parent trying to be her mom and her dad, which sometimes kids do not take to step parents so well. They feel like we sometimes don't treat them the same because they're not ours, and which is not true. I treated her better because she was not mine. So I wanted to make sure she had the best of everything. Every party she wanted, I gave to her. But see, the problem was when she started cutting up, I was not that best friend anymore. And there was many times where she did not want to be around me because I was still putting my foot down, right? There was no extravagant whipping. She got a butt whip, yes. But not just because you was never doing anything. It was always something. Or it's being smart by the mouth. She didn't, I don't know. I really don't know what her take was on it. But yeah, we don't speak to this day because she thinks that I was not being a mother. I thought I was being the best mother. And she told me, no, you're not. So that's something else that I have to deal with. And just because she's not around, it doesn't mean I didn't go through anything. Like, that's a part of grief. For me, that's grief. It's like losing someone. Like, I spoke highly of her all the time to everyone. I never called her stepdaughter. I said, I have 4 girls. This is before Harper, but 4 girls. And I never just tried to, but one day we were at something and her in-laws called me her stepmom. And I was like, ooh, that hurt. Like, I ain't never considered myself her stepmama. Like, she started calling me mom on her own. I didn't force her. I didn't make her. It was Neek. And then from Neek to one day, she just said, mama. I didn't make a big deal about it. I just said yes. And we just moved on. When her father left, she stayed with me. When she went to live with them, she still came back to live with me. Not forced, not anything. So I thought if I was being such a bitch, why is it that she kept coming back, right? But, you know, in kids' head, I don't know what's going on. I heard many stories about what it could be and why it should be and what it is, but I don't even look into it anymore because I keep apologizing about the same things. I can't change it. I can only move forward. I love my kids. Love them. You hear me? So it's hard when one leaves, and even my other daughter, my oldest daughter, she go through her things and she don't be wanting to hear my ass, and we don't see eye to eye, but I tell them straight up, I'm not sugarcoat shit for nobody. But what I'm not going to do is walk on pins and needles in my own house, because we're old enough to communicate. And just because you do not like what I say or what I stand for does not mean you have to stick around and deal with it. You are old enough to make your own decisions in life. So if you don't want to be around that negativity, or if you call me, if I'm negative towards you, you have the choice not to. Mama, daddy, sugar cut, sister, brother, cousin, I don't care. If you feel someone's not treating you the way that you need to be treated, you have the right to say, I don't want to be around you anymore. And take the stand. And mean what you say. Stand on it. Big business. Right? So, people, my kids, she was like, okay, Mom, but when she get angry, it'll come out. I'm not going to keep doing it. At the end of the day, I'm still your mama. We can have a grown-up conversation. Hollering, screaming, all that, I'm not going for it. You don't have to come here and do it. And some people communicate differently. So I have different kids. So some like to text, some like to write, some like to just get it out verbally and get it over with. So you have to adjust to each kid. You can't treat them all the same because they're not the same. And we always tend to compare our kids to one another, and we shouldn't do that. Everybody's different. I can yell at my oldest daughter till I'm blue in the face, and she's not going to care. But if I do that with my middle girl, she going to break down. I ain't got to put no hands on her. So it's just all about that kid. I was the type of kid I was very timid back in the day. You could talk about me and I won't say 2 words. But you can talk about me today and I'm going to let you have it. That's just it. That's all. I'm mature now. I know my voice now. And I know my hands. I've been knew how to fight. I just never had to put that out there. For what? I still don't do it to this day. But it comes with the territory. Like, I grew up in that environment. I had to learn how to do something. Can't let nobody just can't let nobody whip your ass. So, my bone, like right now, I'm strong. And it all stems from me being raised the way I was raised. Like, I was mad at my mom about her men. Let's dive in it. I was mad because my mama had, when she got a new boyfriend or whatever, I didn't get to see her. And one day I wrote a letter, and we lived in Christopher Homes, and I put it in the windowsill so that she can read it. And I know she's going to read it. So then she come back like a few days later. I'm like, Mama, I was asking something, I can't remember what it was, but she was like, go ahead, I'm going to come and talk to y'all. Go right in her room and close the door. I thought that was the most disrespectful shit ever in the world. Like, you just got home. We stay up late at night just to see you come home. Then you get home, and you go in the room and close the door. So we pretty much just thugging this thing out in life. I was. And it just was a lot. I took on the burden of my brothers. I took care of them. My youngest brother's dad. When him and my mom was together, that was the worst time of my life. They fought all the time. He was abusive, period. Yelling and screaming and hollering. And I can remember a time when he turned the bunk beds over on my little brother. And that's his kid. That did something to me. Like, I had to stand up for my brothers. Like, I would always have to check on them. And if I said something, there was a problem, I remember stealing. He just was a mean man. I stole out the store before when I was little, and my punishment was to sleep on the floor, like I was in jail. She said, if you got caught, I did get caught. They walked me home, and she said, so if you would have went to jail, you'd have been sleeping on the hard floor. So she gave me a sheet and a pillow, and I laid on the floor in Flagstaff, Arizona for the whole entire summer. As a kid, that's a lot. That's a big punishment. It just was a lot for me. And it caused me to start shutting down, and I just didn't like nobody. I didn't like none of their ass. And after that, my mom got married. He was abusive. She went back to my brother's dad. He was still abusive. And then she got these other two, a few dudes, and it's just like I don't let nobody talk to my ex-husband. I don't let nobody tell my kids nothing. You got a problem with them, you run that through me. You have a problem with them, run that right through me. Y'all don't have to beef. I'll take the heat, because at the end of the day, your kids will always love the mom, period, point blank. So you just have to stop letting people on the outside who barely know your children tell them what to do. So when your kids are getting abused by step parents, you don't know because you allow them to, you allow them to get onto your children. That should not be, that's not okay. Especially if you're not in a committed relationship with this dude or married to the dude. They should, or a woman, whoever, they should not be telling your kids anything. In my situation with my stepdaughter, I was the mom. Because no one else was there. The dad was gone and the mom wasn't there. So she was living with me. So I'm the mom. You're going to listen to what I say in my house. But I thought we were this. We grew apart and now we're here. And she has a son, and I was trying to treat that situation like it was mine, like he was my grandson. But all that was stripped from me when Mad Day came. And it's still hurtful. Like, I've dealt with it, tried to deal with it, but it took a big hit on everybody in the family, not just me. She walked out, when she left and not talking to us no more, she stopped talking to me and my kids, her sisters. Well, she said, or whatever. It's just a lot. So, but people don't think that you go through anything. Like, I didn't get child support. I didn't get no support from nobody. But I did that. Even at the age of 18, when I met her dad. We raised the two oldest ones together. And I don't know if her mom knew it back then, but I had her all the time. So when I got caught stealing at 19, they caught 2 sets of everything because they thought I had twins. No. I was making sure she was good as well as my own daughter. I never left her out. So it kind of pissed me off to know that her mom was talking about me behind, like I ain't shit or whatever the case may have been. But I was big shit. Been that. Never left her side. Never got myself into no situations to where I had to depend on someone else to take the slack. I've always held the fort down for mine. To this day. Dads and all. You can ask any one of them. I ain't ask nobody for a bitch ass thing. They my kids. I got this. But you see how it's my mom went through it. I went through it. My daughter, my kids, it's just a generational curses that we just teaching these kids. And I'm trying not to be angry about it because they don't know. My grandmother didn't know. My mama didn't know. And I'm gonna let my grandmother tell you her story. Because I found out she was 13 with her first kid, right? And how she was beat every single day when she was 13, pregnant with her first son. So beating kids is in our nature, baby. We were beat as slaves. Then now the elders back in the day, they start beating their kids. They start beating their kids, and it's just a generation thing. We just beat our kids. We don't hear what they got to say. We just beat them. Just shut up. But I just want y'all to go on this journey with me. I'm gonna go live soon so that we can talk about it, talk about discussions, talk about all the people that's about to be on this show. It's gonna be lit. This is my first one I'm doing of me because I want y'all just to get a backstory before I put all these people on here. My kids talk shit about me. They gonna tell you the truth about me. Some things I didn't even know about myself. And I ask them for forgiveness. Always do. Every time I think of something that happened back in the day, I come back and say, I remember this time when I said this. Or I did this. I'm sorry. Mama is sorry. I went home from work one day and beat the hell out of my daughter. In front of her boyfriend, which is her husband now. And I'm sorry. I told her I'm sorry. I just had so much anger, frustration, doing it all by myself. It was tiring. It was overwhelming. And I didn't know. There's no book on this shit. We just thug it out. And it's not okay to raise kids on your own when it took two to tango. I'm not saying it was the father. The absent parent, period, just don't understand what we go through. When you up late at night when the kid's sick, them motherfuckers is asleep with their new family. Or if not a new family, there could be nobody there. But they sleep. They have the option to turn their phones and ringers off, their phones. They can turn the ringer off, turn the volume all the way down. They'll never get the message the next day. But you in a house with those kids, when they get sick, they on your room, waking you up. You not going to work because you taking them to the hospital, emergency room, whatever the case may be. We have to give some of these people grace. And I've learned to give my mom grace. We have to learn to give our parents grace because there's no book on this shit. We're just learning. And sometimes because we are immature, we don't get it in the beginning. That's why our parents tell us not to have kids. They tell us not to do something, but they don't explain why we should not do it. Every time you tell a child to do something, there should be an explanation on why they're doing it. So they'll know that it's right or wrong. We have kids having cycles at 8, 9 years old. Are you telling them why they even have the cycle? No. Explain it to them so that they'll know. We are lost. We're all lost and trying to find our way. And there's no book. So I want to hear somebody else's story too to know, maybe, okay, well, I need to look at this a little differently. Can't be so hard on people all the time. I'm trying to look at it from different perspectives and not be so angry about, how we were raised and where we were raised. And when my mom was tired, we go to my grandmother's house and I don't know why she's gone. That shit should have been explained to me. I'm thinking, you just being left behind. That shit should be explained. I should have known what's going on. I don't care if I was 7, 8, 9, 10, 5. Baby, you're going to be with your grandmother for a while because I have to go get some stuff done in this over here. That's it. Don't take much. And that's why we always mad that other races are doing things differently and they making it, they're so far ahead of us in life. That's because we are not explaining stuff. And we just need to be open to new things. Just because you're doing it the way you think it's done, it should be done, don't mean it's the right way. Hear some other people's story and what they done been through. And you can fix you and, forgive. Forgiveness is first. Forgive yourself for not knowing. Am I mad with the absent parents? No. I don't have nothing to say to him. Like, there's no ill intentions, will in my body. I don't care, baby. Do you? Because at the end, the kids gonna know I don't talk down. I was lying about gifts coming from dad. I did all that. So they grew up thinking, but when they got older, they knew. So y'all stay tuned for the next episode, which will be with my grandmother. I'm starting with her. And I'm going to let her give you the backstory on some of the things she went through. You will learn why some of us have been molested and raped. And some of us around here being promiscuous and, not knowing our bodies and just giving it away. And we're going to learn. We're going to go through this together. So you can heal you. I'm going to heal me. And we're going to walk through this thing and make all the money we can make. And teach our kids in the process what love truly is. And why we're doing some of the things that we do. Okay? So I'll talk to y'all ass later. Peace!